Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma and I'm a first grade teacher, and this is Elementary with Emma. I'm going to be continuing on my student teaching series, so if you have not already seen the first video in that series, make sure you go watch it. I will link it in the cards above. I left a little question box on Instagram about what you guys were wanting to know about student teaching. And you asked so many good questions. So most of them were answered in that first video. So make sure you go watch it if you're going to be a student teacher, because I think you guys asked amazing questions. This video is going to be more specific questions that you guys asked about how to prepare for student teaching. And I'm also going to kind of touch on my must-haves for student teaching because I got a couple questions about that. And I just felt like this could be its own video, and so that's what we're doing today. When I got all my questions on Instagram, I kind of divided them into categories. And for this video, I'm just gonna go through the category that I kind of made with organization and things that you need to purchase and how to prepare, all of that. So I'm just gonna continue to ask questions and answer them as I go. So the first question that I'm gonna tackle is, what do you wish you would have known before student teaching? The first thing that comes to mind when I read this question is that I was not expected to know it all. I went into student teaching feeling like I was supposed to know everything already, and this was just like my practice run before graduating. And that is not the case. Your mentor teacher knows that you are here to learn and that you don't know what you're doing. And that's okay. I felt very intimidated that I didn't feel like I knew how to fully handle a classroom and that I had all these questions and I didn't want to be annoying, and that's what they're there for. That's what you're there for. I thought that people went into it feeling ready. I just didn't know. I didn't know that everybody felt that way going into student teaching. So that's what I really wish I would have known, is that it is okay and you're not going to feel ready, but by the end of student teaching, you will feel ready. Isn't this mug awesome? It's the size of my head. I did not buy this for myself. I got it as a gift. Okay, next question. How did I approach my mentor teacher before starting? I received my placement, then I shot her an email and I just said like, hey, I'm so excited to be your student teacher. I'm pretty sure I maybe gave her my phone number and just said like, I'm so excited to work with you. If you need me to help you with anything until then, like please let me know. I'm pretty sure we got our placements in April or May. So then she replied to that email and we talked for a little bit, and she asked me if I wanted to come and observe her classroom before the school year ended, just to kind of get a feel for what her classroom is like. Even if your mentor teacher doesn't bring it up, ask if you could just come for like a couple of hours one day. It eased my anxiety instantly because I knew we were going to get along. I knew that I liked the way that she did things. She had a lot of good classroom management strategies, and it just set all of my anxiety at ease. So that's a good way too to kind of get over your nerves, is to just say like, hey, can I come in for a couple hours? And like, we talked a little bit, and mainly I just kind of like walked around and saw how she had things set up, and we just kind of talked about what the semester would look like, and it was so helpful. So I definitely recommend doing that. And then I got a question about, before I start student teaching, what expectations should I make known to my mentor teacher for the semester? I thought about this question for a while, and I really just feel like you shouldn't. I think that it's okay to have a little bit of expectation in your head, but know that your expectations may not happen. Know that this is just an experience to learn, and you just are gonna have to kind of go with the flow, do what your mentor teacher does. In terms of reaching out before you actually start, I would not recommend telling them what you expect of them before you even get started. If you have certain expectations that you're worried won't happen, once your student teaching has started, give it a few weeks, see how the classroom runs, and if there are those expectations that are in your head that you had that are still not really being addressed, then maybe bring it up once you're a little bit closer with your mentor teacher, because they may already meet your expectations and you don't have to address those, and can kind of save kind of an awkward, in my opinion, a little bit of an awkward situation. If you know anything about the Enneagram, I am a 9. I'm a peacemaker. I hate conflict. I hate confrontation. I will just sit back and let things happen because I hate having to confront anything. And so that to me sounds like my worst nightmare. And so that's why that's my personal advice. So obviously you can do whatever you want, but I would not recommend starting off with that before you even know what they're going to do. And then I got a question about the EdTPA and praxis advice, which honestly, I'm not sure this goes into like preparation for student teaching, but I took my praxis before I student taught, so that's why I kind of consider it as preparation. If you can, do it. It made my student teaching experience so much easier because I had to still focus on my homework and all this other stuff, but I did not have to study for this huge exam. If that is not something that you are able to do, I would just recommend pacing it out. To be completely honest, I don't even have good advice for the praxis because I think studying helped me understand what type of questions they were going to ask. So I definitely say you need to study. However, it's not like you need to memorize the answers and then regurgitate it on the test. Studying is really just to practice what kind of questions there are. You're not going to hear the questions ahead of time. The main thing that you can do is just try to prepare how you're going to answer them and what type of questions they're going to ask you and what they're looking for in your answers. In terms of Ed TPA, I did not have to do that. Our school did a KPTP, which was like a Kansas professional maybe teaching portfolio, which is I think comparable to the Ed TPA. One thing that our university did that I really liked was they split it up for us. So October 1st, section A was due, and then November 5th, section B was due. And so this helped us kind of time manage by forcing us to time manage. And even if your university does not do that, I would recommend that, making your own pacing guide so that you don't get to the end of the semester or you don't get to a week before it's due and have to write this huge thing at once. Now I'm gonna kind of go into organization because I got a question on how do you stay organized, and then I got a question about what teacher planner that I used. I'm going to kind of talk more about my must-haves. Here's my big tip for how do you prepare. You're about to student teach, you're very stressed out, you're probably watching this video still because you're trying to figure out what the heck you can do before you student teach to make you feel better. Get organized. First thing I'm gonna talk about is my planner. This is the planner that I use for student teaching. It is Erin Condren. Let me be honest with you, I got this for Christmas. I probably would not have purchased this for student teaching otherwise because they're like 65 bucks and I just don't think they're worth it. I will show you kind of how I planned. So, okay, opening this gave me a little bit of anxiety just now. This is what my planner looks like from November. So at this point I was full-time teaching. So let me just kind of find you, oh man. Because Erin Condren has these 3 boxes, that was not very helpful for me when I needed like a whole day's worth of plans. Maybe if I got a different style of Erin Condren, I would like it, but I did not love this. So hopefully this is an okay angle, sorry. So the blue, I kind of had to color coordinate like the subjects that we did. So blue was morning work, so I knew every day what our morning work was going to be. Then pink was spelling. This is kind of making me sad to go through, you guys. I haven't gone through this since student teaching. I really miss it. Okay, pink was spelling, so that's the first thing that we taught after lunch. So I wrote like the couple of activities, and then, oh, blue was math, purple was social studies, and then this dark purple was science. So that's just kind of like an overview of my day, and I just jotted like the title of what we were doing or the like activity. Oh, and then that's our morning meeting question. Where do you like to sing? Isn't that such a cute question? So this is just a hot mess express, but this is how I planned. So you definitely need a planner. You don't need to get a fancy expensive planner for student teaching. You just need to get a planner where you can kind of lay out each subject like I did. My second thing that I think you need is some kind of notebook to jot down your lessons in depth. This helped me so much because there's just not room in your planner. You need a planner, you need to plan out your mapping and your overview and whatever, but you also need to have some separate notebook where you can write out your lessons. The next thing that you need to do in terms of organization, and this is a question that I got, which I loved this question, what should I save from student teaching that may be beneficial later? Everything. This is my third thing that you need to get. I think it was just a folder, maybe it was a binder, I don't remember, that I put all of my materials in. Whether or not I was teaching the lesson, if my mentor teacher made copies, she always made an extra and gave it to me. Then I would put it in this folder. The point is to have ideas and copies and things that you can use in the future. So definitely, if your mentor teacher does not do that, ask them to. I'm already planning for next year, and just looking at all these copies that I have from student teaching has just started my curriculum building so much. Even if you are student teaching in an upper elementary grade and you really want to move down to lower elementary, don't get rid of all this stuff because you have no idea. You may end up back in upper elementary at some point. find out a system to get organized with all of that stuff. So at the time, I was using my 10 rolling drawer cart from Michael's to organize each subject. So I had a drawer for math, a drawer for social studies, a drawer for spelling, all that stuff. At the end of every week, I would empty out this folder and I would kind of sort it by subject. And for student teaching, that helped me and that was great for me. Now I had to change it to kind of be more practical for next year. And so I have it in a filing, like hanging file organizer based on standard, but that's not something that you like have to do during student teaching. The last like area of things that you need to get are just the basics, which you probably already know about. And this is why I didn't make a whole video on my must-haves, because I feel like a lot of these are a given, but we're gonna talk about them anyway. So first thing you need is a backpack. I saw somebody on Instagram saying that they were worried that they were gonna look like a kid if they walked in with their backpack. One, you're probably not coming into school with other kids, so they probably won't even see you with your backpack on. And two, it's fine. Like, I hate wearing shoulder bags because they hurt my shoulders. My backpack was always stuffed full at the end of every day. Being able to throw it on your back is a lifesaver, so I definitely recommend getting a backpack. I will show you the one that I use, and I probably will use it for my first year of teaching. This is the backpack that I used. I loved it. The only thing I did not love about it was this little like side pocket. I think there's two, yeah. The little side pockets don't actually fit anything in them. However, I would recommend getting a water bottle that doesn't leak when you shut it, so that you can just throw it in your backpack, zip it up, and then throw it on your back, and that's one less thing you have to carry. That's what I did. And that's my second thing. You need a water bottle because you're going to forget to drink water. I don't know what it is. Something about being busy and like talking and always on your feet, you just forget. So get a giant water bottle that you really like, that's cute, so you'll remember to drink from it. Make sure it stays cold. And like I said, I would recommend getting one that when you close it, it's not going to leak. This is the one that I use. It's not huge, but like it's a good size. And I like that it has a straw because I drink more when there's a straw. I don't know why. So I would literally just throw this in my backpack at the end of the day and be good. And you need a lunchbox. In case you didn't know, you don't need to get a cute lunchbox, but like you need to get a lunchbox so that if you put it in the teacher's lounge, you can look through all the millions of lunches in there and spot yours. I think that that's it for this video. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any other questions about organization or how to prepare and plan, let me know. I will link my must-haves down below for you in my like to know it, so make sure you go check that out. If you want to see the next video in this series, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss it. Next week's video will be all about how to have good behavior management and classroom management while you are student teaching in someone else's class. So I'm very excited for that video. Hopefully you are too, and I will see you in the next one.